how are breweries all over the world helping to play their part in the fight against the global pandemic of COVID-19? They're doing it like this, all together, and it's something to be very proud of. Let's check it out. Other Half Brewing in New York has set up a really interesting project for breweries to get involved in. Thanks. You let me go, just pause it. I have to pause it now. Yeah. Hang on. You go for a walk, yeah? So Other Half Brewing in New York have set up this project to get as many breweries worldwide that want to get involved in just playing their part however they can in this nightmare scenario that everyone in the hospitality, food and beverage and hotels, restaurants, catering, brewing, distilling industries that we're all facing right now, that doesn't seem to be going away in any hurry. It's unbelievable that we're in this situation. It's actually bizarre. It's surreal. But yeah, Other Half Brewing have decided to throw their hat in the ring, so to speak, and try and figure out how breweries can play their part anyway. And they've done so by setting up All Together, which is, it says on the can, it says a worldwide collaboration brewed to support hospitality professionals. Now, breweries across the world can join in. Other Half Brewing have put up the recipe online for people to join along, and they've got various people to give them a handout along the way. The Stout Collective have done the design, and we've got All Together written on here. And then each brewery gets to put their own stamp on it, however they so choose. Whiplash have gone this route, keeping it nice and simple and understated, and not a bit of sensitivity there, I think, was used when working out what design they'd have for their labelling. Brewed by Whiplash Beer in Ballyfermot, Dublin, Ireland. It's a 6.5% IPA, and the recipe online is there for people to brew however they so choose. So if you wanted to brew an IPA, and put your hops in at the beginning, in the boil, some of them in the boil, or some of them more in the middle, or more for flavouring, or more at the end for aromas and NEIPA style beers, or just however the particular, whatever brewery, whatever they choose to do with the recipe, it was totally up to them. The whole idea is that you're just joining in all together and brewing a beer, and the proceeds, this is the really cool part, the proceeds are a certain portion. Other Half Brewery have asked that a certain portion of the proceeds that are made from the sale of the beer go towards helping local hospitality or food and beverage or brewers or any of the industries that are affected, local accounts that may be attached to the breweries. Just whatever the individual brewery wants to support, really, which I just think is really cool. And it just goes to show you what craft beer is all about. It's about helping. It's about everything I love about craft beer is all together, because collaborations are teaching, giving people other information about how to brew beers, how to set up breweries, how to, countless brewers, home brewers in Ireland have all learnt on the back of each other, who helped each other up along the way to become the breweries they've formed in Ireland. And they've done so, they couldn't have done so really without the help of each other. And that's one of the really cool things that separates microbrewing microbreweries and Irish breweries and breweries all over the world from big brewing. I'm talking, the big macro brewers that are just there for big business to just rake as much profit out of the whole thing as they can for as little quality ingredients as possible. That's what everybody who's a craft beer drinker loves about craft beer, is that we do things, home brewers, we spend as much time and put as much effort and as much love in as possible. And, the home brewers have become commercial brewers all over the country, and they carry on that tradition all the way through. They use the highest quality, most expensive, most sought after, hardest to get ingredients. And they don't scrimp. They just make the highest quality they can. So altogether, just really sort of wraps up and personifies what, craft beer, or whatever you want to call it, real ale, is all about. It's just about working together to help ourselves and help our communities, and and make jobs in the communities. Like all of these breweries all over Ireland, they've created jobs everywhere for, local jobs for local people, and created a whole new industry for the country of Ireland and across all over the world. Breweries all over the world have done the same. Anyway, Whiplash Brewing, and up north, they've just joined in the idea as well. Boundary Brewing. Whiplash Brewing, I don't have Boundaries in front of me. I'll try and get hold of it. But Whiplash Brewing have stuck their hat in the ring. They have been kindly helped out with a lot of free stuff to help make the beer, so that they can then distribute some of those proceeds out, because they're actually only starting to get their own brewery up and running, and running and owning and trying to make a profit in the brewing industry is probably extremely hard. So YAKIMA Chief Hops have provided the hops. I'm just looking on my notes here. Loughran Brewing malts, and Loughran Brewing stores, I keep calling them malts. Loughran Brewing stores, Will Avery, and there, I know, they've helped out obviously with the malts. The OAST House Engineering have provided the cans for this, and LABELTECH have provided the labels. So that just shows you just how cool, really cool craft brewing is all over the world. It's just people helping each other out, small businesses helping each other out, giving each other a leg up the ladder. None of this, big big brewery shenanigans of, robbing taps off of, out of bars and stuff. All of that nonsense. Keep all that away from craft brewing. So yeah, I had originally planned to do. I had originally planned that after lockdown, when the restrictions were lifted, I was going to do a joint video with a beer drinking buddy of mine, Brendan Kenny, who had Garage Brewing, their version of this, and just to do a bit of a side by side and see how the two interpretations came out. But the restrictions are still in place, and COVID-19 doesn't look to be going anywhere. So it's really, really difficult to see all the pubs are not open, and it's really, really difficult to see breweries and brewers and brewery owners that I know in Ireland struggling during this time. So if you watch this video, and if you want to help out in any way, maybe you can't get hold of one of these beers because I'm sure they're probably all sold by now, but you can help by buying Irish local breweries beers, and digging a little bit of cash out your own pocket and buying beer. Most of the people watching this won't need any encouragement to do that. But if you're, maybe if you're looking at beer, you're not in Ireland and you're looking at this video and you're thinking, yeah, I wouldn't mind helping out some way. buying beers from local breweries, buying these type beers if you can find them, and just spending your money in the microbrewers is a big help to all of these guys. But anyway, I'm sure someone could have said that a lot better than what I just did. But you know, the sentiment is there, and I just love. I love what this beer represents. I haven't even tasted it. I know it's going to be amazing because Whiplash brewed it. There's a few breweries in Ireland that just do not make bad beer ever. And I would have to say that Whiplash Brewing is one of those breweries. So I'm going to say this is going to be a great beer anyway. I've taken off a few notes off their Facebook page of what they said they have done with this recipe. I can smell the hops, which is good. Now I've had this can in my fridge for a month. They look to have put a 6-month best before date on it, and I like that. I'm pretty sure that this will be all gone in 3 months of having canned it and released it for sale, because of the nature of the beer and the nature of the brewery. And let's just turn that around there. Whiplash Brewing. Okay. Alex Laws, head brewer there. Okay, so they say they've gone the NEIPA route, so I'm expecting all the hops to be added in right at the very last minute when they turn off the boil, or in whirlpool. And knowing what I know about Whiplash and Alex Laws, I'm sure that a lot of these hops all went in whirlpool. I can just smell the tropical fruitiness coming off of this. Is just incredible. In this beer, the recipe that Other Half Brewing in New York have specified for brewers to use is Maris Otter, oats, and in this case it's Irish oats, and Catapils, so German Catapils. Now I think I'm right in saying, and I stand to be corrected if I'm not, I did look at the recipe a month ago, but I just haven't had time to review it before doing this video. So I think that the base malts are the same for every brewery. I'm pretty sure that's true. Columbus went in the boil for this, so there's going to be a bit of bitterness, but the rest of it, the Mosaic, Cascade, went into whirlpool. These are notes I've written a month ago now because that's when I intended on doing this video. But and then so after the whirlpool, there's been 2 dry hop additions of Simcoe, Citra, Mosaic, and Cascade. So just absolutely fantastic hops in this beer. All monster hops, well established. Let's give this a little spin up because I gave it a delicate pour. Catapils is going to add head to this beer, and so is Oats. They're both going to give it a nice bit of extra body, and the Maris Otter just speaks for itself. A fantastic malt to use if you want to, you know, really upgrade your home brewing, and you know, you've got pale malt, but you want a specific sort of nice malty, biscuity type flavor. Go get some Maris Otter. Anyway, let's have a look at this. It's not even hazy. You just can't see through it. It's hashtag murky, if it's anything. It just resembles something that out of a carton looks like pineapple juice. It's bright, and it's bright lemony, slightly lemony coloured along, you know, or along the orange juice range, but yeah, there's a bit of lemon colour coming out of that on the sides of it. Nice small head, but I know that's really just because of the way I poured it. I can see there's perfect carbonation coming through here. Oh, Jesus. On the nose is just fantastic. You could just sit there. I could just imagine myself sitting outside in the sun, which we don't seem to have any right now, but just sitting out drinking one of these. I mean, you'd forget that it's even an alcoholic drink. It just, there's so much tropical fruit juice type NEIPA, New England style IPA, sort of classic fruit juice sort of aromas coming off of this. all of your tropical fruits. There's pineapples, mangoes, guavas, passion fruits. It's all in there. All of that all that good stuff, the stuff that we love. A bit of melon coming off of that, maybe. A decent amount of stone fruit. A tiny bit floral and a good bit citrus. Anyway, cheers, slancha, all that good stuff, and congratulations and well done to Whiplash Brewing for brewing this beer. You know, great brewery and a great initiative to get behind. So congratulations and well done for doing that. Oh my God, it's just so good. This beer is just like drinking nice malty tropical fruit juice carbonated beer. I mean, it's amazing how beers have come to this point where it's almost hard to describe this as a beer, but it's just fantastic. A subset of IPA that is just it brings out so much of the hop flavor and doesn't spoil it by having too much malt and too much bitterness. It just lets all of the hops give their full fruit, tropical fruit flavors from the hop oils, and it just tastes absolutely fantastic. There is a really nice mouthfeel to this beer, and it just coats the mouth with a combination of hop oils and a mouthfeel from the base beer itself, from the Irish Oats. But I'm sure the Maris Otter it's maybe a little bit subdued because the hops are it's all about the hops, this beer. Fantastic. Oh, I mean, it just tastes like they've put a whole bunch of pineapple and mango, and maybe some peaches, and then a whole bunch of tropical fruit juice like citrus juice, grapefruit juice, and they've just put it all in a blender and then just fired it into here. That's exactly what this tastes. The aroma is of this beer. There is a very gentle bitterness to this beer, but it's so smooth on the palate and easy drinking, and the oats just make it glide down the throat. It's fantastic. Small enough head on it, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Anyway, this beer is all about what the beer is doing. And it's just another banger from Whiplash Brewing, 6.5%. If there are any cans out there that aren't sold and you happen to see them, just buy them all. Maybe they'll brew it again. I don't know. But yeah, what else are my notes saying about this beer? So Whiplash Brewing have raised €3,000 for their on-trade accounts. So what they have chosen to do with this version is to help support their on-trade accounts, so the bars and wherever they sell the beer to, and they're supporting them because they know that those same on-trade accounts have supported Whiplash all the way through, which is really neat. So in their time of need, and even in this crazy time, breweries are selling tons and tons of beer, packaged in cans and bottles, and we're doing our little part as well by buying the beer. So let's just hope this whole nightmare comes to an end, and out of it we just learn to give a just that little bit more. Okay, so well done to Whiplash Brewing, well done to Boundary Brewing. I would have had theirs out, maybe I'll find it. Well done to all of the 855 breweries worldwide, 50 US states, 53 countries worldwide, 855 breweries, 51, probably more now actually, maybe 55 or so in Europe. Well done, congratulations, cheers, and what a great thing, initiative to support. Okay, I'm going to drink the rest of this beer, and my view on this brew, by the way, is it's fantastic, and it was always going to be that way. Cheers, sláinte, and all that good stuff, and it's on to the next one. Bye.